system is designed to facilitate gear overhaul and line storage. Racks 4 to 15 feet long hold the hooks and line neatly and in order for smooth setting. Here, 25,000 hooks are stored compactly and efficiently in a 16 by 9 foot area. For this factory longliner, 140 4-foot racks were used for a storage capacity of 35,000 hooks. Prior to setting, 3 of these racks are loaded into the baiter. The bitter end of each rack is tied to the lead end of the next rack. Each rack holds 250 number 7 circle hooks and about 150 fathoms of line. A typical set might include 75 racks or over 18,000 hooks. Racks up to 15 foot long can also be used, depending on available storage space. These long racks are held in their own supports and are slid into place rather than being carried. Once the buoy line is paid out, the anchor and running line are released. In this set, partially thawed squid is used for bait. The set begins as hook after hook is continuously baited. As hooks are set out through the baiter, one man slides the gear aft towards the baiter and replaces empty racks with full ones. The other man advances batches of hooks, making sure gang ends and hooks separate. He is also in position to snap on weights and floats just before the gear pays out. Up to 200 hooks of gear can be staged in the baiter to allow time for a smooth rack change. A single operator feeds bait into the CircleMatic's conveyor during setting. The baiter precision cuts the bait to a pre-selected size for each hook as the ground line and hooks pay out. The operator is careful to overlap each bait fish as he feeds them into the baiter. An additional crewman keeps the bait supply replenished. As the setting continues, uninterrupted from rack to rack, it shows how much time and labor is saved over traditional hand baiting. Instead of spending hours baiting up your gear ahead of time, CircleMatic does it for you while you set. This also means fresher bait on every hook as it goes into the water. With an average set of 75 racks, 18,000 hooks are baited and set in an hour and a half. Here, squid is being baited at 4.5 hooks per second. At the end of the string, the line is easily lifted out of the CircleMatic baiter for setting of the running line, anchor, and buoy line. On most large boats, such as this factory longliner, the buoy line and the ground line are hauled with the MARCO offshore hauler, located near the MARCO bulwark roller. The MARCO offshore hauler also pulls the line through the MARCO offshore fish stripper, which removes excess bait and strips off incoming fish. The MARCO slack taker in the hook overhaul and storage area serves as the secondary hauler. It pulls the line aft through the MARCO gang-in unwinder, where water-powered jets wash the line and untwist gang-ins from the ground line. The MARCO slack taker also separates the hooks, guiding them into the unique storage racks where gear overhaul begins. As the line comes out of the roller, each hook is inspected. Broken or straightened hooks are replaced, as well as broken gang ends. As each rack is filled with hooks, It is quickly replaced with an empty one without interrupting the hauling operation. Skates with badly damaged line and hooks can be set aside for later overhaul. The large sheaves of the offshore hauler provide positive grip, hauling lines when fishing in depths of 500 to 600 fathoms as encountered in the blackcod fishery. The open design allows the hauling of snarls, so you don't have to cut and splice your line, and you don't have to stop hauling. The offshore fish stripper's hinge side allows large snarls to pass through, as well as providing access to periodic cleaning. Setting and hauling up to 50,000 hooks means handling 30 miles of line. For this, you need deck machinery that will haul hook after hook in a smooth and continuous process. Small snarls need to pass through without stopping. Large ones need to be handled quickly without delays and without cutting and splicing the line like many other systems require. With short racks, large snarls can also be set aside for later repair. Quickly filling up a 250-ton fish hold with frozen, headed, gutted Pacific cod in today's fishery means minimizing interruptions and continuously hauling hook after hook. The fishing machinery must be capable of fishing enough hooks to catch enough fish to keep the processing line at full capacity. The CircleMatic system does this without waiting for the crew to hand bait 50,000 hooks. And its system for hauling and hook storage enables the crew to rapidly repair hooks and gangins in order to quickly set again. Recently introduced with smaller bait, you see a typical example of how the MARCO Circlematic baits each hook. It's important that the hook goes through the thick part of the bait, around the backbone as shown. This double baiting with the CircleMatic does not damage the bait. That's because the tip of the hook is rolled neatly through the bait. This is unlike other methods that try to snag the bait or force the rounded tip through, tearing the bait in the process. The CircleMatic precisely baits each hook so the bait stays on the hook longer and won't shake off on its way to the bottom. Circlehooks have repeatedly proven themselves to be far more efficient than other hooks. Some fishermen report catches 2 to 3 times more than when using J-hooks. Factory longliners today need to be as efficient as possible, maximizing the catch with a minimum of crew. With the CircleMatic Longline System, you bait Circlehooks precisely and automatically without the tedious, time-consuming chore of hand baiting ahead of time, and without using the less efficient method of random baiting with J-hooks and semi-circle hooks. The MARCO Circlematic system is today's right choice for competitive factory longliners.